Yes people, what is good? I am BA, back once again with another reaction in the Fargo series. This is episode 10 of season 2, the season 2 finale, and it is called Palindrome. Last episode. It basically all led up to that final thing. I really cannot remember much before that final battle, just because it was so epic, so memorable. We had so many characters gone, and of course, you know, the presence of a giant UFO. But last episode was just insane, from the opening of the guy at the gas station getting shot, and all the bits and pieces leading to that motel, this new task force being set up to protect Ed and Peggy, Ted Danson hanging around because he knows that something is going to go wrong, Lou knowing that something is going to go wrong from afar, Mike and the remaining Kitchen brother planning to show up, and then of course the Gerhard convoy that just took the entire motel by siege, going door to door essentially, killing all those cops as the shootout started. And it would have been a completely successful mission if not for Ohanzi, who of course was left to look after the matriarch of the Gerhard family. So yeah, shit starts to go south when Ohanzi starts clipping his own family. First of all, he shanks Mummy Gerhard, the matriarch of the family, kills her. Then the brother gets shot in the ear by Lou and finished off. So now that's all the primary Gerhard family dead, and most of those henchmen got killed during that shootout as well. And yeah, then a UFO comes right down to ground level, observes what's going on for a second, and fucks back off. Now, like I said last episode, I believe that's just like an additional interesting element that's been added to the script rather than having some sort of big part to play in the resolution this episode, but who knows, yo, I've still got a little side bet on Peggy going back to her home planet in the finale of episode 10. But long story short, Ted Danson was wounded, still alive by the end of the episode, all the Gerhards were dead, and Ed and Peggy had once again escaped, and Ohanzi is once again after them. So I cannot wait to see how they wrap up this amazing season this episode, and it has been an amazing season, just as good as season 1, so I can see why a lot of people love this, and some people prefer this to the first season, and I can also see why. But yeah, let's see how they wrap it up. This is episode 10 of season 2 of Fargo, Palindrome. Let's check it out and see what it's saying to it. Oh, Rye's still chilling. And that's the first time we actually saw what happened to Otto. At least he didn't suffer. He took a clean bullet through the head, 2 in the body. He would have been dead pretty much instantly. Every single Gerhard dead. That's the only one I do not give a fuck about being dead. I wonder what the UFO made of it all. I wonder what those aliens were thinking. I think they wanted the Gerhards to win as well. They probably came down in shock. They'd been watching this season along with us like a show. Ah, she's starting to look pretty unwell now. I can't even be psyched for the Molly Solverson cameo.
Doc says you had a reaction to those pills they gave you.
I know, of course, these things happen in life, but fucking hell, just disease storylines. Nothing depresses me more than a disease storyline. I know it's a part of reality and has to be reflected in art, but it's a fucking miserable part of reality.
My dad? Same. No word.
You would think Ted Danson would have survived that. I mean, stranger things have happened, but surely they're not going to kill him off screen even if he does die from that wound. We'll see him again.
If you're not gonna eat, Doc says sleep. Get your strength back.
I don't want to even feel sorry for her because she's a soldier, do you know what I mean? But it's just fucking horrible. I wish I had a more eloquent series of words I could put together to describe how shitty this storyline makes me feel.
I dreamt of a magical future where everything you could ever want would be available in one amazing place.
Wow, her dream is fairly fucking accurate. I would go so far as to say it's a direct prediction of the future rather than a dream.
There was happiness there.
Is that grown up Molly? And Colin Hanks' kid?
I saw.
Hey! Oh man.
His back still straight.
Hey! Oh man. They're killing it this episode.
I worried that the future I'd seen might never come to pass.
Don't take her dream away from her, Fargo writer. Rewrite it now so that she's fucking magically cured. Refilm. Re-release. Re-premiere. What an absolute massacre. Literally the only people I can think that got out of this shootout alive were Ed, Peggy, O'Hansey, Lou, and just now Ted Danson. And it sucks because I really wanted the Gerhards to win this war. They lost the war last episode, it ain't even a question anymore. There is no Gerhards.
Trouble, young fella.
Hey, Mitchell, we need a ride.
Oh shit! O'Hansey isn't fucking around. I don't know why he's taken such a particular disliking to Ed and Peggy. They were never racist, prejudiced to him or any of that. Yes, Peggy stabbed him in the shoulder, but he was, you know, holding them hostage and shit. Black Sabbath is fitting this scene strangely perfectly. What the fuck is Mike's actual goal leaving this episode now? Just to go back to Kansas like, well, I done it.
I'm home.
Is he actually in the Gerhard's house? He could fucking take it over if he wants. This could be Mike's new base. I think Mike would like this place. Some of the decor maybe needs changing, but you know, the walls behind it is strong enough. I wonder why he turned that picture down. Do you think that was the daughter when she was a baby? I totally forgot Ed was wounded as well. This is going to make it really easy for O'Hansey to track them. Damn, with his injured face, he looks full villain mode this episode. For all her craziness, Peggy is the one woman you want to loyally love you to the death, to be honest, isn't she? She'll kill people for you, she'll fucking military carry you to somewhere safe if you're wounded. She is an absolute G. And you know, Ed's no jockey, she'll be building some fucking calf muscles doing that shit.
Till we're rescued.
You fucking idiots. Well, on the plus side, it's an incredibly safe place to be from any other danger. On the downside, they're gonna freeze to death. And I used to work as a night porter in a hotel with one of them big ass freezers, so I know the fear of being inside one. Turning round and looking at that fucking door, making sure it doesn't close on you. There was no release catch from the inside.
Hold on. Let me just see how bad it is.
Ed looks like he might be dying.
You're gonna be okay.
Well, if Dr. Peggy says so, I'm fucking happy again.
Peggy, I don't think we're gonna make it.
Don't you say that, Ed Blomquist.
Those are the words of the unactualized Ed. Man the fuck up.
What do you say?
We're just too different.
Don't say that.
You can't break up with Peggy in a freezer while bleeding to death.
You're always trying to fix everything. But sometimes nothing's broken.
Now, if that isn't the truth of many of the relationships I've been in life, I feel like a lot of people could relate to that line right there. I've been in many relationships and situations where I think everything is good and a problem is created. It's a horrible fucking feeling to have to constantly deal with, to be fair. Shit. I'm loving the way they're filming him this episode as well. It's so distorted, it's making him look proper psychotic. This is going to be a funny episode for Mike if this is all we get to see of him. Just walking around an empty Gerhard estate.
Gal,
Don't kill the maid.
I decree no more schnitzel or strudel.
So he is just taking over the house then. I mean, I'm not mad at it as a move. I don't know if that's, you know, official in writing, if he has the paperwork to back up this play, but in theory, I'm all for it. Who is this? Who even survived? Is that one guy who had the glasses on that Gerhardt's phoned in from outside? Yeah, it is. That fight was so chaotic, I didn't realise this guy got away. I mean, surely Mike's about to kill him. I mean, with that turtleneck and that chain, we can only hope. Alright, he's just looting them for their silverware like a petty thief.
Forget something?
Well, he caught me.
Yeah, I think this guy's gonna get shot within the next couple minutes. I don't think Mike will let this guy live.
In the spirit of human struggle, we say bygones.
He's an incredibly killable character, to be fair. I would have killed him before now.
Sovereignty is absolute power and authority.
Like a king?
Exactly.
Yes, Mike has turned this shit right around from 3 episodes ago.
See, today is my coronation day.
He's done such a great acting performance this season, the guy playing Mike. Really, like, captivating dialogue delivery and shit.
And an act of cruelty. That way, your subjects know that you're capable of both.
Shit, well, the maid already got the act of kindness, so...
Problem is, Wilma works in the kitchen. She has already received my kindness.
He's explaining this shotgunning so peacefully.
You ever been to Baltimore?
Well, he tried, you know, he knew he was done for, he had to try. I respect him for trying.
Well, in the morning, we journey home to bathe in that warm champagne that is corporate praise.
I'm not sure about that. Part of me thinks that Mike might go back to Kansas and they'll get killed anyways because Kansas won't be stupid and they will know that they were the ones that killed the Undertaker and had nothing to do with the elimination of the Gerhard family. Seriously, every time we've seen Ohanzi, he's getting filmed with that lens where it's blurred round the edges almost, creating an extreme focus at the centre. It makes all the shots of him look really intense. Oh fuck, he's smoking them out. Oh man. He's just too tactical. What are they gonna do?
Help me, Ed. They'll see you.
Ed's dying. Ed can't help with nothing.
It's just like the movie. There was this couple, and they were on the run.
Yeah, how did this movie end again? I forget.
And the husband, or whatever he got shot. Just like you.
I mean, Peggy, you don't need to go through the entire film while the deadly smoke is filling the room. I mean, I'm not trying to sound unactualized, it's just an idea. Don't worry, sister, I'm realized. Please don't stab me. Whoa! Oh man, I was hoping Ed would have made it out of this season alive. Please tell me he's not dead. Well, rest in peace, Ed. I will say though that this also does not decrease the chances of survival whatsoever. This was gonna all be about Peggy and what she's capable of to survive this. I give her a 50-50 chance against Ohanzi, how about that?
Peggy, it's okay. It's okay. It's me.
Where is he?
She was so ready. Ohanzi is lucky that he was unactualized enough to be in a different place than where she expected him to be.
We followed Ed's blood trail. Okay, kicked in the door, us. DNA was never in the building.
Is that true? She wasn't imagining the smoke, was she? Now I'm unsure if it was all in Peggy's mind or not. Ed and Peggy have been such good characters this season. It's almost heartbreaking to have to say goodbye to them for season 3, just the same as it was for Malvo and Molly in season 1.
Yeah, I don't even know how to write this thing up.
Well, look at you, now you've got a broken nose and seen some bodies fly and you're back into little bitch mode. What happened to the tough guy who was looking after Ed and Peggy, telling Lou to fuck off a day before?
I'm gonna take Peggy Blomquist back to Minnesota. If anyone's got a problem with that, they can keep it to themselves.
I feel like Lou's earned the right to say that. After the week he's had, he deserves whatever he wants. You know what's even weirder? That just felt like the end of an episode, almost. Like a mini episode. And this feels like the beginning of a new little episode.
Is Lou back?
No.
If they kill this poor woman within the remaining 25 minutes of this season, they can, wholeheartedly, from the bottom of the pit of my soul, suck my dick.
It felt like somebody took a hot poker and put it through her heart.
Not like that. Not yet.
Oh, I hope not ever. That sounds horrific.
Maybe I could serve my time in California.
Look at her, already thinking optimistically about the potential of prison. She really is a keeper.
Doesn't that sound nice? Maybe see a pelican.
Do you know what I mean? Jail for life, doesn't matter, saw a pelican.
When the country went, it went fast, and we had like 24 hours to get everybody out.
One thing that's pissing me off is, why is nobody saying to one another, did you see a fucking UFO last night during that shootout, or was I hallucinating? Surely that would be all anybody would be talking about. And the fact they got the UFO's attention.
I never meant for any of this to happen. You know?
I genuinely believe her. She's capable of a lot, but she just wants to bake cakes and practice Life Springs Jutsu. She'd have a happy life.
And then that guy, that stupid guy, walked out into the... Why do you have to do that?
Peggy is correct, you know, it was an unfortunate set of circumstances which led to all of this, but at the same time, you know, would the Gerhards still have came after her if right away she had stopped the car, phoned the police, said someone had stumbled out? She probably wouldn't have got done for bad driving, he would have got done for, you know, walking out into the road, especially after they connected him to the shootings he'd just done. So yeah, I think Peggy handled it in a weird, panicky, off-key way to begin with, so it is partially her fault.
Like, if you could just get your act together until you're half mad.
People are dead, Peggy.
Yes, I think sometimes Peggy needs that reality check. She gets caught up in her own bullshit. She doesn't understand the magnitude of her actions or what she's been through. You know, her life has forever changed. She needs to put the Life Springs manual down and take her head out her arse.
I mean, all night we've been calling and the operator didn't know where you were.
What happened?
Don't you fucking do it, show.
She fell is all. Something about the pills I gave her.
A small fall is fine. I mean, push her down the stairs for all I care. As long as she crawls away at the bottom, we're fine. Stamp on her a few times even. Remind her why she's alive, you know. Let her let out a little scream in pain. As long as she's alive, we're fine.
She's sleeping currently. I told her I'd sit up with Molly until you got home.
Oh, that's cute. What to do is, when she wakes up, say, come here. Come here, I want to hug you. And she, you know, she'll get out of bed and come over slowly, you know, and you're like, yeah, come on, come for the hug. And then just when she gets close enough, bang, kick in the shin, she drops to her knees. You're like, see, this is what it is to be alive. Sorry. And sorry you had to see that, Molly, but god damn it, it needed to be done. Is this O'Hansy meeting with Kansas?
You're thinking... Why Tripoli?
Does this mean he was working as an insider for Kansas?
Then was conquered by the Romans, and then by the Spanish, and by the Turks.
No way, is that the two hitmen from season 1 when they were younger? I love the little tie-ins in this series. I hope they keep doing this in later seasons.
Do I take it you'll try to get revenge on Kansas City? Apprehend those responsible?
Oh, this guy isn't even Kansas City. Who the fuck is this guy then?
Kill and be killed. Head in the bag. Yellow.
So I guess he just did it because of the reasons the show was suggesting. He just got tired of the prejudice toward him.
I had my doubts, but you really brought this thing home.
I had a few breaks.
Is that actor who's in quite a lot of things? He's fairly famous. I think the last thing I saw him in was Pig, and he's also in Halloween H2O. And I know those are two very strange references for this guy's resume, but that's how I know him.
That's the day-to-day stuff. We got a team for that. Asset managers, mid-level and below. Drones, really.
Nah, this is some Goodfellas shit. Mike's getting lulled into a false sense of security, and then he's gonna get shot in the fucking head.
It's 9 to 5 mostly, but management rewards initiative. So nights, weekends.
Wait, so he's demoting him to just a regular 9 to 5 desk job?
And cut your hair, okay? The 70s are over, for Christ's sake.
Holy shit. He obviously knows Mike killed The Undertaker.
I'm not talking about busting heads for collections. I'm talking about profit and loss.
This is a bizarre turn. I have never in my history of organised crime movie and television watching seen a guy just get demoted to a shitty desk job.
Quarterly projections and revenue statements are due on the 13th. We're expecting big things from you.
What will Mike think of this? What a crazy ending to Mike Milligan's story. And is that one of those typewriters? That would be some poetic justice. My OCD appreciates the layout of the pens though.
Okay. Careful now. Could you give your papa some room?
No.
Okay.
This is just the medicine I need.
Hey, okay, this is good to see. I can be happy we're getting a Molly cameo now. Ted Danson survived, the wife is still living currently. We're all fine. Happy family.
This Hansi fella.
Made the FBI's most wanted.
Oh, it's just Hansi. For some reason I thought they said, oh Hansi. Hansi Dent. You might think Hansi's a bit weird, but wait until you meet his brother. He's a right prick half the time.
You'll know the angels when they come. Because they'll have the faces of your children.
What a creepy thing to be told. Surely that caused a lot of parents to murder their own kids, like, the angels of death.
I went in your office.
Oh, it was his office with the UFO swirls.
I thought, what if there was one language? A universal language of symbols.
It's an interesting theory. If it's something you guys have never seen before, there's a crazy phenomenon called somatics, which is when you put a metal plate connected to something that can resonate specific frequencies into it, and then you pour substances that can either be types of liquid, sort of, or solids, like rice or powdery stuff. And then depending on the frequency resonated, it snaps into a shape. So to me, if there was any sort of language which would be understood on a universal level, it would be the shapes which appear naturally through frequencies in somatics. And this might sound boring, but type it in right now, like frequency causing shape in substance or whatever, or somatics itself, and you'll see it, and it's a crazy phenomenon. And to me, that is a hidden language which could be potentially one used universally.
What do you say tomorrow we go fishing?
Okay.
Enjoy your spleen while you've got it, Molly. And that's cool because in season 1, Lou asked Molly if she wanted to go fishing, so it's something they did their entire life. Thank God they didn't kill her on screen this season. What a fucking downer that would have been. Directed by Adam Arkin, okay, and that is the actor I was talking about who I've seen in Pig and H2O, so that makes sense why he showed up in this episode as well. And that was episode 10 of season 2 of Fargo, Palindrome, and I will be back in just a minute with my thoughts on that. So, Palindrome, what did I think of that? Man, just an absolutely amazing episode to what I saw as an incredible season. First of all, let's talk about the main players and how they ended up. So we got Hansi, who basically changed his identity and name and went off into the sunset like a ghost after really not explaining his actions. So I'm assuming we have to take the show at face value when they were explaining he was just sick and tired of the constant prejudice against him because he was a Native American. And we did see a little bit of that with the bartender spitting in the drink and those guys outside hassling him and shit, so maybe it was just a lifetime of people being like that, which is understandable. If your own family was like that to you, you would be like, fuck these people. But I will say the show made a point to put in a scene in one of the earlier episodes when the chubby brother, my favourite Gerhard brother, the one who died in the shootout after Lou shot him in the ear first, he made a point to say to Hansi, like, look, none of these other guys will ever say it, but you're part of this family, you've been down for us and had our back, and you are family. So he made a point to stress that to Hansi, which makes it just kind of fucked up that, you know, he murdered the mother right in front of that guy died right in front of Hansi. Just a shame. The one thing I'll say about the big Gerhard brother is at least he got to see a UFO as he was dying. Like, literally, he got a death blow, looked up, and saw a fucking UFO. Now, if you're gonna die, that is a completely non-boring way to die, and a UFO visiting you is one of the few things that would probably distract you from the fear of imminent death. And the episode for Mike has just kind of been sort of the same as the last few episodes. He was just sort of twirling his fingers while the chaos erupted around him. He didn't need to lift a finger, so first he goes to the Gerhard's residence, makes himself at home, kills that last guy who came back to loot the silverware, and thankfully spares the maid, making him still a likeable character. Then from there, he goes back to Kansas, obviously expecting a promotion. My prediction was they were just going to clip him. Neither of those things happened. Instead, he got brought up into the corporate section and put into a shitty desk job, which is just like almost a weird thing. Like, I know it's a punishment. He's saying a lot without saying what he wants to say. Like, if he was saying what he wanted to say, he'd be like, look, we know you killed the Undertaker. We know you had nothing to do with the majority of the Gerhard deaths. We heard all about the Native American guy killing all his own people. So you're coming back here expecting a reward when you did fucking nothing except murder your own crew. Get behind that desk. You're lucky you're not dead. And I feel like that is the true speech that was being said during that scene while he was talking him through his new role in corporate. So yeah, that was an interesting punishment and a weird way for Mike to end up, but yeah, what a great character he was throughout this show. And rest in peace, Ed. You know, part of me hoped him and Peggy would go off into the sunset, but that was a realistic conclusion to their story arc. You know, everything they'd been through, it was never going to work out for them, was it? So rest in peace to Ed. It was a brilliant acting performance, and fair play, you know, Peggy got arrested and she's already thinking about seeing pelicans, so I'm sure she'll be fine in jail, and within the end of the month she'll have her entire wing realised and actualised, and within the year her gang will have engulfed the entirety of the West Coast prison system. She's probably my single favourite character this season, Peggy. I've got a few. One character I wish we saw more of was the lawyer. He was absolutely hilarious. He was a little bit on the side of comedy relief, but not too much on that side. It was just a unique character that was so hilarious to watch in every scene he was in. He literally chewed the fucking furniture while doing it in a resolved way, and it was amazing. It was so captivating. I could not get enough of everything that guy was saying and the manner in which he said it, and I could have easily watched him in all 10 episodes. So yeah, I wish the lawyer had been in it more. I believe his character name was actually Carl Weathers, which is a strange character choice because it's such a unique name and an actor is already known as that, but fair enough. I like to think it's maybe a tribute or something. Rest in peace to Carl Weathers. Yeah, the Predator shot your right arm off and a gator bit off your hand, but they can't stop you now. You're up in the clouds in the sky with working limbs, arms and hands. Let's go. And thankfully the thing I'd been dreading all season didn't happen. Lou's wife didn't die on screen. We got a nice happy ending with Ted Danson having survived. Also, Molly was there. The girl who was helping look after Lou's wife was there. It was just a nice happy final scene, and we got a little bit of interesting philosophy from Ted Danson's character explaining all the symbols in his room, which I thought was actually going to trace back to the UFO thing, but no, it had nothing to do with that, and it was completely its own thing. Just again, another bit of spice into the script. And all in all, what an absolutely incredible season. I have heard season 3 is a step down, and I've heard people absolutely hate season 4, and season 5 is then a step back up again, but I do plan to react to all 5 seasons of this show. So yeah, bring on season 3, and it has been a pleasure watching these 10 episodes of television. What an incredible series. I mean, 20 episodes now I've watched the Fargo, and it is just such amazing television. Wow, so rewatchable as well. Like, I've already rewatched season 1 with my friend, now I've watched episode 10, I'll be rewatching season 2 with them. But yeah, just the fact that the writing has been so strong throughout these first 2 seasons, it almost puzzles me as to why season 4 would be so bad if it's by the same writer, unless they change writer by season 4, because his writing seems to be incredibly consistent. Obviously, every writer, when put under time restraints or certain pressures, can have a bad day at the office or do something they're not happy with, but provided he was given adequate time, the same as season 1 and 2, to think of a story he was happy with, characters he liked, etc., I do not see why he would not write something at least interesting every single time. So I am hoping there is something I find enjoyable in season 4 when I get to it, but regardless, I'm going to go through all of them for you guys because that's what you guys wanted me to do, so it's getting done. And of course, if you've liked this reaction, click like, subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this, ring the bell to be notified as to when they drop. If there's anything you want to talk about, comment down below. and share this around to anyone you think might appreciate it or want to watch these reactions along with us. My Patreon link is down in the description. If you become a patron, you get access to my blog, you get access to these reactions I put on YouTube a month and a half in advance, and you also get access to full-length versions of everything I react to. So consider becoming a patron, it helps me and my channel out so much, and until next time, I have been BA, peace.